in Kiambu County, Kenya. The sun rises over rolling coffee farms and the soft hum of morning life. Here, everyone knows. Everyone, or at least thinks they do. It was in this village, on a dusty morning when the mist still clung to the hills, that Jabari and Zuri first met. Jabari, young and restless, had just returned from flight school in Nairobi, eyes wide with ambition and a uniform slightly too big for him. He was here to test a small crop dusting plane for local farmers. Zuri, grounded yet spirited, had stayed in the village, helping her family run the coffee farm, the smell of fresh coffee beans clinging to her hands. She had never cared much for city life, but she had a fascination with the sky. Watching planes trace silver lines across the horizon, their first encounter, a harmless crash. Jabari had misjudged the landing on the small farm airstrip, and Zuri's dog barked fiercely, sending him stumbling. She laughed, a clear ringing sound that made him pause mid-up. "You're lucky the dog didn't bite you," she said. "And you're lucky the plane didn't crash," he replied, brushing dirt from his uniform. From that awkward meeting grew curiosity. Jabari returned to the farm, often under the guise of checking airstrip safety, and Zuri found herself explaining the farm's rhythms, pointing out irrigation channels, teaching him which trees bore the best beans for the pilot's pesticide tests. The love between them didn't explode, it grew slowly, like coffee beans ripening under the sun. They spent mornings together, checking crops before flights. He taught her about aviation, how planes banked, how weather changed trajectories. She taught him about soil, plants, and the patience required for things to grow. One afternoon after a flight, Jabari nervously asked, "Want to try a short ride with me?" Zuri hesitated, her heart fluttering. She trusted him, mostly. The plane soared. The wind whipped her hair, the world below tiny and beautiful. Jabari glanced at her, and for the first time, the professional mask slipped. He smiled with complete vulnerability. "See," he said, "it's not so scary from up here." Zuri laughed, gripping his hand. "I think I might be falling for flying. And you." It was the first unspoken acknowledgement. Their hearts were lifting together, slowly, safely, carefully. Love in a Kenyan village is rarely private. Zuri's family noticed. Mama Amina, her mother, invited Jabari for Sunday dinner, insisting he sit closest to Zuri, watching him with a knowing smile. "You're not just interested in the sky, are you?" she teased as she passed chapati. Jabari blushed. "Maybe. I just like the view from both above and beside her." Her father, Mz Karanja, spoke seriously. "Love is like flying. Courage gets you off the ground. Patience keeps you in the air." Even Zuri's younger siblings got involved, playfully asking Jabari to teach them loops and spins in a small drone, testing his skills and his patience. They shared quiet moments under the mango tree, talking about dreams, fears, and how one day they might own a small fleet to help local farmers. After a year of growing affection and trust, Jabari returned from Nairobi with a plan. "What if we combine our worlds?" he asked. Zuri crossed her arms, skeptical. "Explain." "Pure knowledge of the farm, my flight skills, my contacts in Nairobi for logistics. We could start aerial crop monitoring and distribution. We help farmers and build something together." Zuri's analytical mind kicked in. "What's the cost? The risk? Insurance?" He grinned. "I was hoping you'd ask that." Their relationship evolved from subtle flirtation to partnership. They argued about flight routes, about planting schedules, about risk versus ambition, but always returned to laughter, to shared glances, to touches that lingered just a little too long. A year later, they were inseparable, rising before dawn, checking planes, flying low over the fields, and watching the sun paint the Aberdare Hills gold. One evening, after a long flight, Jabari parked the plane and turned to Zuri. "Remember the first time we met? My clumsy landing?" She laughed, leaning against the fuselage. "I nearly killed you with my dog." He took her hand. "I'm glad neither of us fell that day. And I'm glad I fell for you anyway." She smiled softly. It's been a slow climb, but I wouldn't trade it for all the flights in the world. They kissed under the fading sun, the coffee-scented air swirling around them. Not just siblings, not just colleagues, but partners in life and love. Somewhere, there is a hill or a runway waiting for you. A decision calling, a risk holding you back. Inside you are both. The one who wants to leap, the one who wants to plan. Silence either voice, and you lose power. But together, they become wisdom. Jabari and Zuri learned this in Kiambu. That love, like flight, requires trust, skill, patience, and courage. Sometimes you have to take off before you're ready. But you'll always find your balances, especially if you have someone holding your hand as you rise. And maybe like them, you'll discover that the most beautiful journeys are not just above the earth, but in each other's hearts.